Welcome
Well,
to the podcast, everybody. This
we
time we got David, we got me, and we got drum roll, please. We got Dylan.
Okay,
Dylan.
listen here, motherfuckers. Who's the dumb bitch who disliked my video that I
Okay,
was in?
okay.
yeah,
Dylan's
Who
mad.
who yeah, I'm back and I'm mad and
Okay,
who
here's
disliked it?
here's
Just
the
tell me, like,
thing. Here's
hurt
the thing.
you or anything. I just want to know.
We have a
Put in the
video.
comments. No, shh. All right. It's we laugh at dead people, but this time with a guest. Okay, I'm gonna look at the video. Let's look at the video stats right now. All right, it's
Dylan,
loading.
you don't have
It's
video
loading.
stats.
Okay. All
no,
right. See, 4 likes, 1 dislike, 14 views. Who's the motherfucker who disliked that video? All right. I want the comments section.
Hey,
Oh no, not
Dylan,
down red. And put in the comment to selection who
let's
disliked
let's
it.
explain for the people first, because I'm sure
I'm
that there's a
pretty
lot of
sure he
people that
did.
are confused right now.
No,
Here's the thing.
he did a pretty good.
Here's the thing. We have we have a video that has about 451 views on it, and there's I think 10 likes on it and no dislikes. So that's a pretty decent ratio. But Dylan's video with only a couple of views has a dislike on it. And whoever poopy brain did that just
Well, I just checked back on Quinn's, and apparently his has a dislike too. So
oh, it
that's
does.
just
Wow.
crazy. That happened.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. Oh wait, I just got a notification. It happened recently.
Chris, we don't.
Wait, what?
Hmm.
That
Shut up, he doesn't know how YouTube
um.
works.
That's not how YouTube works. We don't. You don't.
All right.
That's not what.
I,
That's
what? I don't have much to talk about, but I've been watching Law and Order a lot recently, and you know how I
Have
said
you?
before, like if when I grow up, I think I want to go with something into the law and maybe into the order, not on the second part, but I really like Law and Order, and the funny thing about Law and Order that I like so much is, well, one of the things that surprised me actually is that they make a lot of jokes about prison rape, which personally I think is funny, being
Damn.
that like on one of the broadcasting channels, and it's like there was this one dude who's being rude, and he was just sucking on a lollipop, and Ice T being Ice T said, "Well, you're gonna be sucking on something else if you when we throw you in prison," and then that's pretty funny.
yeah.
Uh,
That is pretty funny. I also like it when you have like a kid show that you watched a lot growing up, and then when you go back and rewatch it, you're like, they have a bunch of jokes in there for like more mature audiences that you would just miss
yeah,
otherwise. It's
Yeah.
really
I think is a pretty good example of that. I
oh
think
yeah,
Amazing
for
with the
sure.
Gumball.
For sure. I've been watching Amazing World of Gumball just a little bit, because my siblings found it and they think it's hilarious, and I agree. Um, some of the episodes you can tell are just filler episodes, and they're pretty trash, but most of it is great, and there's jokes that make sense and that are just funny. And it sucks to see that because you see YouTube and a program called Pocket Watch are the biggest perpetrators of this, but you see content that's just so mind-numbingly stupid and just so basic, and you look at that and then you compare it to like something like SpongeBob or Amazing World of Gumball or something like that, where the jokes
I
still hold up
mean,
when you mature to an extent, right? The first, okay, for example, the first like 3 seasons of SpongeBob, that's gold. Past
yeah,
that, it's so-so, right?
SpongeBob. The first seasons of SpongeBob were, but the rest of them,
Well,
they were kind of hit or miss.
especially
I feel
especially
like,
nowadays.
Yeah.
well, yeah, for sure. And I think Disney Channel is like another thing of mine. No, it's not like cartoons or anything,
Well,
but
especially
it's
now.
really just yeah, yeah. Like
Like,
in like the early 2000s, you could get away with so much more, but now everything is it's so strict, and I think for some good reason. But
right. Well, even
but
not even it not being strict, it's just so and it's
Yeah,
the worst when
it's
I go like when my older brother would go turn on the cartoons with me, he could sit there and watch it and have it be funny. If my little brother turns on what he watches on YouTube, I can't fucking
I
stand it.
wa-
It's just
yeah, I want to throw the TV. You want to
so
throw the
annoying.
TV out because
And
it doesn't make sense. Like, okay, for like their humor is either fart joke, uh, or laugh track. Those are the only laugh tracks because it's easy, cheap humor that they can get away with because laugh tracks just kind of give you like a little heh,
Yeah.
if you have a consistent enough viewer. Like when I was younger, I watched Disney Channel a lot when I was younger. Well, I watched it a lot when I was younger, and I watched series from series to series, and finished like 3 or 4 of them, and I fell victim to like the laugh track shit because it was just it prompted you and it made
well, but
it
here's
it out of
because you can have great shows that have laugh tracks. Like isn't Sweet Life it doesn't Sweet Life on Deck have a laugh track to it? And like Zach and Cody.
yeah,
I would say that
but
that's a
also those are
pretty
early
decent show. Or like
those
for
are
example,
early two
iCarly.
thousand shows.
Right, they're early 2000s, but I was just noting that having a laugh track doesn't necessarily make it bad. However, shows that
I'm
depend on that are off.
I'm not I'm not saying that they're like bad inherent. They're not bad inherently, but I would say that like now I think more shows in 2015 just uh heavily rely on laugh tracks and um don't even have decent enough jokes that are funny on their own without them. But with like
I fully agree.
uh, yeah, but I remember like early 2000 shows with like. Did anyone watch Wizards of Waverly Place or
Dude, I
That So
watch
Raven?
Wizards of Waverly Place so much, but it's just a blur in my mind.
I fucking love. I remember like all the actors from that. I remember Gomez. Just like, have you noticed for like a lot of the early 2000s like Disney shows, like the main girl actor from those shows, they have like a deal with Disney that like in the next 5 years that they're going to try to become a music artist and Disney is gonna like make like pay for it because that's what it seems.
Yeah,
Because like
it seems like that's the route they always take.
Selena Gomez got an early career with like music from with uh time kind of from it. But then you have then you also have Miley Cyrus, which also kind of went the same route. But then there's the person who played Teddy on Good Luck Charlie. She got some
Did
singing.
you really?
She got
No way.
yeah. She got some music videos and songs because of her work at Disney, and I'm pretty sure she was on like the 4th season of Good Luck Charlie when she got it, so she had to work a pretty good time. I definitely think she had the sign a contract to be able to get that music career because like I feel like when those shows were coming out, it was like every dream. It was every girl's not every girl's dream, but at least with more of the actresses that they wanted to become a singer songwriter or shit like that. I feel like that was kind of more
Well,
accepted mainly because of Taylor Swift.
well, yeah, totally. Because you can, it's good to balance out an acting career with a music career, and typically for
Yeah.
like for those Wizards of Waverly Place, I'm fairly certain there were parts in it where they had to sing, that were just um, like,
there
uh,
were there were specials like where they had to
right,
sing like
right.
one of the times, but it wasn't as
So,
common.
but
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't really common during the show. It was
the
like a
thing is,
surprise.
when you're like that high profile of an actor, typically to get a job like that, especially with something as big as Disney, being able to sing is something that I think they would probably look. Just makes
Oh
sense
yeah,
when you're
because
that popular to transition to something like music where or even maybe it wasn't even necessarily her plan to do that. Maybe it was kind of something that like her manager and other people like pushed for. They're like, look, you could have so much more individual things. You could, blah blah blah.
speaking about Selena Gomez's manager, her manager from when she was a kid till I think it was 2014 or 15, but fired them and got a new manager so she could go bigger and
That's
beyond,
that's
which
so
I thought
insane. Could
was
you imagine getting fired by your own kid and being like, "You guys
yeah,
check manager."
you don't let me go out. You don't let me break my. You make me have a curfew.
Yeah,
I want to go out and be big time, mom.
yeah. But
But yeah,
yeah, no.
um,
Basically, I didn't want to get too off topic because I want to bring up the kid shows nowadays, because uh kind of because you have a younger brother like I do too. Do you ever like see the content he's watching and just be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, because I know that your brother watches like Dino Trucks a lot, and like that's a fine show.
yeah,
It's a normal cartoon, I guess. But
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
I heard
even
your
in Dino Trucks, there's like a couple of jokes that are actually sort of funny. It's like, that's kind of funny. So it's not
right,
that bad.
right,
And then he watches like,
playing on the background. It's not really a show. Continue. What was that?
what?
You said it's not really a show, and then I kind of like cut you off. I was saying continue.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay. All
does
right.
anyone remember kicking?
Remember what?
With
Yeah.
like the
Oh yeah,
karate,
I
the
watched that
karate
show, but I
show.
didn't like watching that show.
Dude, I just ruined
Oh,
the
you're
show
stupid.
that you
It
were.
was
I
so
remember you
good.
talking about it so much.
I don't think I talked about it that much because I'm pretty sure I didn't like sharing that much when it comes to like with the TV shows that I liked when I was younger. But I loved the show so much. It was so good. They had like
Yeah,
I love seeing like it was really funny like seeing them fight and it was great humor. It was such a good show that
yeah.
anyone I was like a fucking connoisseur for like Disney shows when I was younger. I watched a lot of
Yeah,
them.
I was really picky about it. Also, while we're on the topic of Disney shows, before I change topics, this got brought up recently. After because I think you were the first person I heard it from, but I also just recently thought about it. The George Lopez theme song.
Oh god.
David, okay, I
It's
need to
like
ask
a
you. Remember passed out watching cartoon or like Disney Channel or whatever, and waking up at about 4 a.m. like right before or like just as it's starting to play like the George Lopez theme song. Did that ever happen to you, or is it just like a
Why is that so specific and very correct?
right?
Like,
Like it happened to everybody.
wait, oh no.
It
Alright. It's so disruptive. It like you just you wake like I already heard it like at 1 a.m. like dun, 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 dun,
it's
dun.
oh yeah, and here's the thing.
like the shark
Um
jaws.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So also I watched a YouTube video on it recently because it was on my mind. You know, George Lopez wasn't famous and they kind of just gave him the show. He's famous because of a following from I think a very small role in a movie, but he basically got hooked up with one of his friends that was in the industry, and they were able to like, give him the show. And so he ends up with his own show, and then he gets famous from that, being like a stand-up comedian and stuff. But yeah, no, George
I
Lopez is
mean,
weird.
Yeah.
with
Also,
the 90s, I'm pretty sure a lot of actors kind of just got their own shows that were modeled behind them. Like George Lopez, Seinfeld, Roseanne, every Everybody Loves Raymond and stuff. There was a lot of
oh
shows
yeah,
like
for
that
sure. You
where
were
they
really
just
good at just
you know
naming them off. Goddamn.
yeah, there's just everyone is just like, hey, we got this guy. what if he had a family,
Right.
but they were weird and annoying and quirky, and we just
Right.
ride that for 10 seasons and hope for the best. Because
Exactly.
that
But so
that was
you guys can all remember that though, like waking up in the middle of the night, like it would just the theme song would wake you up every time.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I just started watching it because because
I whenever it would
well
play and I would wake up, I would always either try to turn it off as fast as I could, like mute it and like roll over so I didn't see it, or on the rare occasion I would let it play, I would try to go to sleep really fast. Dude, the last time I heard it, I was on Instagram and it was in a meme, and it started playing unexpectedly, and I dead ass felt sick. That's how bad of a reaction it gives me.
Oh,
uh, I I think I watched it. So uh, when I was younger, I would hear it in like the middle of the night, and then I would go over back to sleep. But when I got older, I started like watching it because there's nothing. I like background noise when I was doing something else, and then I'd like glance at it. I started watching it, and I watched it so much that like when did go to sleep and I'd wake up to like the theme song, I would just like look at the TV and have it muted, and just like I could tell exactly what they were saying because I didn't actually have it fully muted, just like enough so I could hear a sliver of it, and I don't know why, but I could like recite the whole conversation just from like the sliver because of how ingrained in my mind it was.
Yeah, it's so weird. And that's the thing. I can't think of any other show that you would wake up to like that. But it was always so much louder than what you act. And
Could have it like at
the
11 and it would just be blaring.
exactly, and the most strange part of it for me is waking up before it played. Like waking up, looking at your TV, and then the theme song starts playing, and you're like, I that didn't like what?
I don't think that ever happened to me. I think it always started
I
at like
I think I can
uh
I know that it happened once for sure, but I think it happened at like probably two times. But I know for once, or like one time in particular, because it's for some reason vivid. I was laying on the couch. I think I was a little bit sick that night.
is
And
that why you get sick when you just
like
unexpectedly
looked
look
up
at
at
the
my
phone?
maybe that's why my mind just associates it with it. Anyways, yeah, I looked up at my TV and I don't remember what was playing before it, but then I just saw like the commercial end and it just da 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 da, and I was like, kill me now.
oh this may be a little off topic, but you know the show Roseanne. I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but
I've
like I got
certainly
into
heard of
it.
it, but I haven't watched it.
I've watched I watched like I've watched a good amount of the episodes. Then Roseanne got a little racy on Twitter and they kicked her off. And then they made a spin off show called The Connors. And Roseanne was the main character because the show was named Roseanne. And since she got a little racy, they killed her off by saying she had an unexpected opiate overdose and then just remarried the
What
main
the
character's
fuck?
husband and just kept on going like nothing
What
ever
the
happened. Not to
fuck?
mention that they rebooted the show and like after they changed the name from Roseanne to the Connors, they made it the most politically correct thing ever. Like they they are so pro mask in the show, which isn't inherently a bad thing, but they kind of go over the top about it. And another thing about the show is that now the daughter who's like 40 in the show now has an illegal immigrant husband who's like 26 and they have a daughter, and Dan is not okay with the legal immigrant, well, just not okay with a
What
lot of Mexican
what the
immigrants,
fuck?
and it's just
What
so
even?
funny to watch.
Also, isn't that kind of what happened on Fuller House? Like the friend, isn't that who she married?
Oh wait, what?
No, I was
Oh,
joking because
Oh,
the you said the illegal immigrant. Yeah,
yeah. I've
oh,
watched.
you mean
I never.
see?
I didn't
it's
really
not it's
enjoy
not
it.
funny.
I watched Fuller House like a couple times. I just didn't really enjoy it.
I watched
you ever-
one episode of my sister and I hated it. Well, and I liked the first episode, but then I watched like another random one and I didn't like it.
Did you guys ever like actually watch like America's Got Talent or like
Yeah.
what was the other one show, like Masked Singer, like shows like that?
My I
My
only
parents
watch it
like
when
watch
my dad has it on TV. But
same.
Yeah. My mom, like my whole family rather, watches Masked Singer a little bit, but we never got into it.
I only like America's Got Talent for the comedians because there's some like weird
It's so
acts on there.
it's
But I
it's
mainly
cool, but for me it feels so weird watching it because it all seems so staged. Like it I don't know, it's just weird to me because like examples like when they'll ask them questions but they align perfectly with their act and they have like really written out responses. It just feels so weird and like animated. I don't
well,
know.
yeah, definitely some aspect that's scripted because they have to embellish their story.
because when they have
Have a
10
relatable talent that also has good talent, so they
Exactly.
could have some on the
you're
root
gonna run out of time
viewers.
when you have 10
It's I
minutes.
feel like there's some like there's
No,
We are running out of time.
I don't think you guys understand. We only have
I
10
was
minutes left.
I think there's some validity to what wait what?
We have 10 minutes
We have
left.
okay, well now we have
Okay.
9 minutes left.
I think there's some validity to what they
Because I didn't upgrade to pro for Zoom, so now we only have,
Alright.
so we gotta make this time count.
We got to make this time count. Are we gonna like push it all the way to the end and then you guys stop recording?
Yeah,
Funny to say that because I gotta leave.
okay.
All right. Well, he's got to go, so I think we got to
Uh,
wrap it up. Yeah.
So you know what, might as well.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. What's that?
Oh, I just said might as well wrap it up there.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot if you watch to the end. Leave a comment about what we should talk about, any ideas, things like that. We love all you guys that watch. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And have a great morning.
And just all right.
Dylan, that's copyright. We're gonna get copyright.